11-toed, blonde bombshell, Marilyn Monroe. Okay,
she had a cut off when she was young.
suicided.
She had a cut off when she was young, but you can still see the little stumpy.
It's in some of her movies. Yeah.
World. There you go. Glasses up. Yeah, it's recording. I'll clip it sometime. Or if not, I'll find it natural and laughing. Very hilarious. Good morning, Vietnam!
Hey, howdy, and welcome back to Gently Buzz, where, as always, I'm Wayne.
And this is Jay. Sorry, I stepped on the light.
And today, we got something big for you to talk about today.
Oh, you suck!
We got some big things to talk. Oh.
Jesus Christ! Toss it like it's a light ball. Mm-hmm. I'm Chase. Yeah! 30th time's the charm.
You be quiet.
Oi, oi, oi!
And today, I guess we're going to come out the gate swinging, all right?
Just like the Mafia.
Oh, yeah, swinging. Here's what we got for you today. Today, we're going to be talking about the Mafia.
I really wish we had outfits. I should have.
Today we're going to talk about the Mafia. It's very close to my heart, something very dear to me. They'll come to me on this, the day of my daughter's wedding. Ask me to do a podcast with you, knowing that I cannot refuse.
That's really good.
Isn't it?
That's really good.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I need something to stroke. Yeah, I'm going to take my coffee. I'm going to stroke a bottle of Jaeger instead, okay? So here's what we're going to do. Today we're going to talk about the Mafia, okay?
Yeah, Jewish people, Jewish ancestors were definitely the Mafia.
Oh, dude,
It's in the
that's
blood.
the Godfather, son.
I know, but the way you do it, it's like,
He was Italian.
well,
My
fine,
name is-
don't take the
My
compliment.
name is Marlon.
Don't take the
My
compliment.
name is Marlon Brando. I don't have a cat, so I'm stroking this bottle of Jaeger. I got 3 boys, okay? Today we're going to be talking about the Mafia. We're going to be talking about, all these things you could have done for me, but you never asked,
You never
You
asked.
never once invited me over for some coffee. Never invited me over for some tea.
You got coffee
But
right
the
there.
second you need me to do a podcast, I'm not done. Hold on. The second I don't want you wanted me to do a podcast with you, you call me. I do not like this. This is not the way to do business. I'm a legitimate businessman.
That's awesome,
Didn't
dude.
you know?
That's great. I didn't know you could do that. Where'd that come from?
I can sound like any of them, I
Yeah.
can even get a little bit of Tony Montana.
Who?
Tony Montana. He played Scarface, mijo. I can do Tony Montana.
Never seen any of them.
Oh, you want to play games with me, huh?
I
You want to play
guess.
games with me, huh?
I guess.
All right, well, here's what we're gonna do. All right, fuck you, okay? Okay, friend? Okay, fuck you. I know I'm gonna go back to this voice.
You've been talking
Dude,
about
I can
the
sound like
Mafia.
pert near anybody. You know what's fucked up at the place I work at?
What?
I work with people, all right? And I've gotten so good at sounding like them.
Mm-hmm. Got it. You've lost ball privileges.
This is why there aren't enough Jews in basketball.
But go ahead. You work with who?
I work with people, and I've gotten so good at mimicking them, I can convince them almost that they're talking when they're not.
They turn. They're like.
Oh, yeah.
They're like. "Did I
Oh,
say that?"
yeah.
You're like. Aw.
Well, not
come
going
on."
into too much depth.
I was watching. Did you ever watch Mad Men?
Yeah.
I never watched it. Is it good?
It's really boring.
Is it? Why do people
I like
it?
it purely for the aesthetics.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's why people like
You know,
it.
I love the look of the 50s, the 60s, and things like that, but, plot-wise, it kind of goes on forever.
Oh.
Don
Boring.
Draper's the man, but everything in there looks so bitchin'.
Well, the guy who plays the lead actor,
John Hamm.
John Hamm. He was on.
His
He
name
was-
is John Hamm.
The voice you just did sounds just like how he described playing golf with Ray Romano.
Oh, no, I've seen that one. He goes, come on. Here, I need you to go. Okay?
Okay.
Come on. Really?
This sounded kind of like Kermit the Frog, though.
Come on. Why do I keep missing? This sucks. What am I even doing there? Really? Oh, jeez.
No wonder. Okay, Jewish people. No wonder they were gangsters. You could do the badass voice. No wonder they were actors, because you can act like a mutt.
I can act like a real son of a muppet. But that ain't what we're talking about today, okay, Padre? Today we're going to be talking about
Yahtzee.
the Mafia. Now, what about the Mafia?
I don't know.
Aside from the St. Valentine's Massacre, which, if you haven't read about that, you should.
St.
But aside
Valentine.
from that, there's a whole lot of stuff in there that you can get into. You can go into the fact about how, personally, John Dillinger is my favorite gangster of all time.
Who is that? Who was?
Who was John Dillinger? Who was John Dillinger? I'm going to tell you a story.
You sound like Jason Statham.
That was the point. Yeah, you're getting it.
You sound like Jason
You're
Statham.
getting it now. All right, let me tell you a story. You know what? No. This can only be narrated by Morgan Freeman, okay? Now,
I'm terrified.
John Dillinger was the man. John Dillinger gave his money to help those in need, like a modern day Robin Hood, some would say.
Wow, he sounds so badass.
He really was. He also escaped from prison twice.
Okay.
Once using a wooden gun. The second time using a wooden gun made out of soap.
Well, it wouldn't be wooden. It'd be a soap
He
gun.
tricked the police into thinking it was a real gun
How? Did he hold it in his pocket?
because he had that much charisma.
There's no barrel. There's no hole.
John Dillinger was such a badass. He was so charismatic, right? In any picture you see of him, he will have a straight face, but it'll look like he's winking at you, okay? But he was so damn charismatic. He was such a good actor. He believed the soap gun was real. He would hold it up to a guard and say, "Give me your money into your pockets. Come on, let's go. Gotta get me out of here." And he'd be like, "Oh, God, it's a real gun." It's clearly made out of wood or soap or whatever, but they don't care. He convinced them that it was. And they never questioned it. Could you imagine having that kind of influence over anybody?
Holy cow, he is like smirking in this picture.
He's not. He's got a straight face in pictures when you can still see him winking at you. That's the beauty of John Dillinger right there. Favorite gangster. You know what? Baddest gangster that ever freaking lived, okay?
Holy crap.
He's the man. Morgan
John
Freeman.
Herbert Dillinger. Well, and that's, like I said, what did he say he's from? What did he say he was from Indianapolis?
Yeah. He was in the Navy.
But he died in Chicago, so I'm guessing he ran a little bit of something
I got a
in
little
Chicago.
something about his death, okay, but not to cut you off.
Okay, does his death have a conspiracy?
Oh, you betcha. Well, I'm all about reading weird shit, right?
Of course.
All right, well, here's what haberdasheries and hemoglobins I found on this son okay? This son of a muppet allegedly dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when he dies, the corpse changes eyes from blue to brown. Loses the butt chin he has.
Yeah, the one in the picture.
It's gone. The fingerprints don't match up. He shrinks 1.5 inches. Gains 50 pounds. And somehow has no scars anymore.
Did they execute him?
That's the first theory I came up with. His own father saw the body of John Dillinger from okay, I'm sorry. I'm cutting out of myself. So the person who exhumed him, the pathologist, right? And the coroner, they said, "This isn't him. It looks like him, but Dillinger's eyes are blue. This guy's got brown eyes. He's shorter. This guy's got a heart condition. Dillinger never did. He was in the Navy. How could he have this heart condition? This guy's had a heart condition since birth. Okay? He's shorter. He's fatter. Doesn't have the butt chin. His scars don't line up. All this stuff, right? Okay? You following me? Dillinger's own father comes into the room and says, "That's not my boy." His father looks at the corpse and says, "That's not my boy." Look up the picture of the corpse. And then look up John Dillinger. He says, "It looks like my boy, but it ain't my boy."
Oh.
So there's a theory out there, and 2 people have investigated this. They're crime researchers or whatever, and they believe that he took off and became a machinist in California, or he just lived a normal life. There's no way of really knowing.
Well, you can't really miss that face anywhere.
But look at the corpse.
Yeah, he looks very different. He looks more bloated.
Exactly. He's fatter. The eyes are different. Where's the butt chin?
It looks like it's
The
there
butt
a little
chin
bit.
is a genetic trait. It's very dominant. Okay? There is no way of getting rid of a butt chin. There isn't.
Face of John Dillinger. Oh, is that the dude from that movie with Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Yeah? Johnny Depp plays John Dillinger?
Yeah, but, he didn't look like him, but he definitely did an okay part.
I never got to finish that movie. I guess that was pretty badass, though.
Here's where it gets even stranger, okay?
Okay.
Even though it's not his boy, all right? He buries him in the cemetery, right?
Sure.
Buries him. No big deal.
No big deal. No big deal.
He buries him under 9 tons of concrete.
What?
Yeah. 9 fucking tons of concrete. I'm sorry. 9 hecking tons of concrete. 9. Okay?
Okay.
Not just on top of him. Underneath him, on the sides. They poured it in there, so whatever John Dillinger's casket is now is encased in cement.
So his family, they wanted to dig him up and...
They have tried to exhume his body several times.
Yeah.
The niece of Dillinger even tried. And you know what they say?
No.
They always tell her no. One time they finally agreed to it. It was last year. They finally agreed to it, right? And you know what happened? The cemetery got bought out and she had to file a new petition with them.
I don't know.
What if the CIA never got their man? What if theory number 2 is possible? Second theory. Now, if you look at the cemetery he grew up at, or not grew up at, wow. The cemetery he's resting at. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you got this. People have seen shadowy figures move around there that resemble Dillinger's corpse. It's been torn up. The whole place has been plagued by what they call the vampire of whatever the name of the cemetery is. They claim that his father buried him under 9 tons of cement. Okay?
Okay.
Because he's a vampire. And somehow he didn't want anybody else to get out. Okay, you don't do that. Normally when somebody dies, 6 feet in the ground. Covered with dirt. That's all she wrote. John Dillinger gets encased in concrete. Not even John Dillinger. Okay? Official autopsy records even say it looked like him, but the 3 sets of fingerprints did not match. Okay? Eyes changed color. Scars just disappeared that he had. But another theory out there is that he was actually a vampire. So when he died, they encased him in cement so he could never get out and hurt anybody.
Yep. It says,
else
according
would
to
he
a
have
report in
survived?
the New York Times in 1964, a showman in Wisconsin offered Dillinger's father $10,000 to borrow the body for a while, and eventually the Dillinger family had to pour 3 feet of concrete, encased the grave to prevent the body from being stolen. Oh ho ho.
Okay, so why would people want to steal his corpse? Now, brings us back to our previous story. John Dillinger was an escape artist, right?
I didn't know that. I didn't know this man too.
John Dillinger is the coolest motherfucker ever. He would hide in plain sight. He would be gambling on horse races, surrounded by CIA. Not even blink an eye. He was so charismatic. How do you have the charisma to trick a guard and the entire correctional facility of Alcatraz or whatever with a wooden gun?
I remember seeing that scene in the movie.
How do you trick all of them with that? Okay, not even painted, just a wooden gun. How do you trick all of them into that without a certain kind of charisma or mind control that vampires are known for having? How do you do that? How do you convince people when you're public enemy number 1 to give you shelter and then not tell anybody you're there because you're just helping them when you're not? How do you convince regular people to do that? Who read the news, by the way, who read the newspaper and listen to the news and watch the news?
He looked like he'd be a vampire.
Theory goes. Now, I didn't come up with this. I don't confirm or deny it. theory is that he was a vampire. That's why his fingerprints never matched up to any of the times he was convicted. They were changing. That's why his eyes changed colors. That's why they buried him in concrete instead of dirt. That's why
Okay.
his cemetery keeps getting ransacked. Okay? That's how he had this kind of mind control, this kind of hypnosis thing to get anybody to do what he wanted.
Honestly,
That's
that
how.
doesn't shock me. Let's see, when did the police... Okay, yeah, so fingerprinting was still pretty new, 1911.
And in the days of Al Capone, and Bugs Moran, those
Yeah.
were the two big guys. Those were the two big hitters, okay? That'd be like right now, who are the heavy hitters of this country? Trump and Biden. All right, everybody's on one side or the other. Somehow, Dillinger was just as famous as both of them. But nobody fucked with him. He had his own gang, the John Dillinger gang, okay? But he was never on their radar for some reason. Same business as them. Just, why would he matter?
That's
How?
insane.
How did he do that?
Well, and that... I also was wondering, because we watched Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
We watched, and then that got me thinking, I'm like, how did they even start a gang? And it just starts small. And it's like, okay, maybe I'll rob this tiny bank. Okay, it's the 30s.
Yeah.
Got away with it. What if I rob this big bank? Oh, I did that too. Imagine, that's the thing too. I always say that. I need to stop saying that. That's the thing. But it's true. I can't imagine.
Now here's the deal.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine a time when there wasn't cameras. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, because we're post 9/11 babies.
It's just weird. Like,
Yeah.
I could imagine just walking into a bank, robbing it, and then not having any evidence except for people saying that they think it was John Dillinger that robbed the bank.
America didn't get crazy with security until after 9/11.
That's nuts.
Yeah, there were no cameras anywhere. Why would there be? It's expensive. You don't need them.
Now you do.
If you're a bank, you probably had a sheriff deputy, maybe, standing there with a gun, probably 65. Oh, hey, Ernie, how you doing? Oh, not too bad. Just taking my heart medicine. Yeah, you could keel over at any moment. But
They always do go in for it, don't they? Like in that movie, they go in there and they go, get down. They're like, there's one guy here, one over there.
There's always one guy.
And then they take either one or two.
Always a
It's,
fucking nerd.
it's only like one or two people. And I'm like, there's 7 or 8 of us. And they just go in and do it. But then I was starting to question. I'm like, okay, well, then how does a mafia start? How does a gang start? And then what they do is, so like, okay, I robbed the bank now. What do I do with all this money? Well, I got to, launder it a little bit. So I'm going to make a business. I'm going to open a bar. Open some kind of service. Do something to make it look like you're a small businessman, right?
Yeah.
So then you look reputable, which is why they probably thought he was a Robin Hood, but he was actually a notorious killer and gangster. So the funny thing is, it starts off like, yeah, we're just trying to start a little something, and they're like, well, what do you do? They're like, one of them was like, we do import-export. They're like,
Well, this is during the Great Depression.
you're like, of what? You're like, yeah, we import-export. You're like, okay, so you're in the mafia. That's what you're telling me.
Exactly.
They're like, what business do you have? Import-export.
The thing that played to their advantage is kind of what's happening right now. There's a recession. When they were in gangs, it was the Great Depression, right?
Yeah.
So, what did people not have and didn't trust?
Now or then?
Then,
Money?
money.
Banks?
The banks. They didn't trust them. So, people going to rob the bank, cool. They robbed us. See what I'm saying? What's John Dillinger going to do? He's going to give people money here and there. People love him.
And it wasn't like right now if someone robbed a bank, your money would still be covered because of the FDIC rules. But that came into play after that. So you basically got away with it scot-free unless you had like people who go, hey, that was John Dillinger for sure. They're like, okay, you said that. How about you, ma'am? John Dillinger for sure.
They would know it was him.
Then they'd be like, God,
But
he's back again.
They all liked him. If you had to pick between Bugs Moran, Al Capone, and Dillinger to be held hostage by, Dillinger all day.
You'd be like, how you doing, miss?
Be like, hey, how you doing, sweetheart? How about you look lovely today in that dress. How about we have a little soiree later if you
Johnny Depp did.
You know what I mean?
Johnny Depp actually did do a good job then, because the way you said it, he sounded just like that.
I don't know what he sounded like.
And he was charismatic. He'd walk in.
He was a ladies' man. The cameras loved him. If you look at any picture of him, he always stands out in the crowd. Always.
Yeah.
So how did people not know he was there? He was. He had that kind of, like I said, charisma maybe. Some people might say vampire hypnosis. I don't know. But, he had a certain je ne sais quoi. He could go anywhere, be recognized, but be loved by everybody. That was his superpower. Could convince anybody anything. Like, yeah, I'm robbing the banks here. Yeah, I'm killing people. But I'm doing it for you.
Right. And they're like, how sweet.
People would ask for his autograph after robbing a bank.
That was in the movie, too.
They would ask for his autograph, yeah.
He
would sit there and sign him.
He'd be driving by, and he'd grab him, and he'd like, sign him, give him back to him. Like,
yeah.
He did that. He did a smile. He had like a gold tooth or something in the show. He's like, yeah.
Well, for him to be the first public enemy #1, the first person the FBI was created to catch men like him, right?
Yeah.
They were. You know what he would do? He wouldn't go flee to Mexico like everybody else did. He's like, fuck Mexico. I'm going to stay right here. He wouldn't even leave town half the time. He would go out in public, not giving a shit.
Yeah. I don't have that kind of charisma.
Cool. Who can do that, right? So I'm saying, for all those people out there who support the John Dillinger vampire conspiracy, I don't confirm or deny, we don't confirm or deny any conspiracies here. We just tell you what is, okay? I can see it. I kind of see where they're coming from with it a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
I could see it. I don't know. That seems...
If vampires were real, I'm saying it is.
He'd be the one I'd be like.
If vampires were real, yeah.
I'd be like.
That wouldn't be reaching.
Dracula? No. Look at John Dillinger.
Well, how many times was he out in the sun?
I don't know. I wasn't alive in the 1930s.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Everything. I just assumed that anything before the 70s was just black and white.
That's right.
We didn't have color until 1963.
Our eyes didn't adapt. But, and that also brought me to, because we live near Kansas City, or in Kansas City. So, long story short, the Kansas City Mafia, I brought that up because it was in Ozark. Remember in Ozark they were using the KC mob a little bit?
Yeah.
And you were like, are they still around? I'm like, seems like they could be. And then in the show, I was like, what are they even involved with? Because in the show, you don't see them come around very much. You know what I mean? They come around or they go visit him like once or twice. I feel like 3 or 4 times that he went to go talk to him for something. You know what I mean? But it was, and I looked it up, and it was for, I was like, what do they use them for? It was for, like, filtering their money. So, like, they wanted the casino in Ozark. Spoilers, if you haven't seen Ozark. They, Yahtzee. So they had illegal money, and they needed somewhere to funnel it through.
Yeah.
Boom. Casino. So they wanted the casino. Okay, that was their first thing. Launder, funnel money. They try and keep the cops and whoever they have involved out. That kind of a thing.
Yeah.
In exchange for that. And then in the show, they also, they always bring Marty's wife a bag of money. They just bring her money, and then she does whatever with it. And then it was like, I think they also were bringing money up from Mexico. So, like, they would go to Mexico, and they bring it back from the guy. And I dug some deep research in there, and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, does Mafia cross state lines? Yeah.
They sure do. That's why they needed the FBI. Not to cut you off, but...
Oh, you're fine.
They needed the FBI because, okay, if a cop goes after the mobsters, they would just cross county lines. Not even sheriffs could only patrol the highways, but they didn't have jurisdiction anywhere at the time. So they created G-men, right? The FBI, the Bureau.
To go anywhere to find somebody.
To go anywhere to gank somebody.
And so I'll give you the bullet points. So this is our town, okay? Now, Italian, obviously, when I say the name, you're going to understand. The Dio Giovanni brothers, okay?
Dio Giovanni.
They fled from Sicily to Kansas City.
Insert clip of Brad Pitt saying, Arrivederci. You gotta insert that.
Arrivederci.
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 So one of them was named Joseph Joe Church Giovanni, and Peter Sugarhouse Pete Giovanni. Okay, that was like 1912. Really early, like World War One. Okay, so Prohibition hit, and they were the only game in town. So they were the only ones who were making alcohol in Kansas City. So they were making hand over fist when it came to alcohol. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, they were the ones who were bootlegging it. Now, their boss, Tom Pendergast, okay, they call it the Pendergast machine, controlled Kansas City's government officials and the police department. So him and the DiGiovanni brothers ran Prohibition all the way till the wheels fell off, with no cops and no government officials ever they never made an arrest for. So you see like people getting arrested, like remember that movie Lawless, where they get arrested for bootlegging?
That was a great movie.
It was great, but they always had the cops after them. Never a thing in Kansas City. They go, we pay the officers, we pay the officials. You can do it all day long. You're not gonna get caught.
Not in every case.
In this one, it was. There was never one arrest in the entire Prohibition time because of the Pendergast machine.
According to my birth father,
Mm-hmm.
they would soup up, old Model T cars. That's why they started hot rodding cars, was to go faster than cop cars. So they couldn't pay them off. My great grandfather.
Well, they ran it all the way.
According to my great grandfather, according to my dad, my birth father.
Yeah.
My great grandfather would soup up his car to just barely go faster than the police. He would just tune his carburetor different, get better spark plugs, use higher octane fuel, and he would go faster than the cops, just barely. How we could lose him. Sell moonshine. The people that made the moonshine, that made firewater during the Prohibition days, they wouldn't run it themselves. They would hire locals who knew the area better than them.
Yeah.
That way there's no way they get caught with it, see. Yeah.
And if they did, they would just say the Pendergast machine. They were like, oh, okay.
Exactly.
And now the crazy thing is, so you start a mafia, so you have money, you start businesses, and then you start running and paying people money, like government officials and police officers. Okay. Now, he controlled the working class. Okay, and then he controlled the votes. This is after like 1940. Okay. So he controlled the votes, and then eventually bent the government of like Kansas City to his will. So he was basically mayor, but wasn't mayor. Now, after that, he transitioned from bootlegging, and then into government contracts because he had government officials vouching for him. So that he was getting buku money from the government. This is in our town.
No shit.
This is in our town.
Oh, man.
Then he was getting money from the government as a gangster because he had the votes on the council, on the government council.
How do you do that?
You pay him enough. Now, and guess what? He was the number one concrete company in Kansas, had the biggest contract, so made buku amounts of money, built the town.
That's where we could hide it, probably.
And then they called it back then they called it Paris of the Plains, because it was booming. It was a great place to be.
Yeah.
You had all this stuff going on. Anyway, so after all of that, you have people coming out like Pretty Boy Floyd, Adam Ricchetti, a lot of these machine gun bank robber type people who are
the original
coming
Machine
around.
Gun Kelly.
Yep.
Not the rapper.
Right.
The original Machine Gun Kelly. Man.
Now, so
Yeah, Capone.
apparently one of this I didn't type his name here, but but there was the Lazia? Hold up from Lazia? Something like that. Anyway, you remember Union Station? Have you ever gone to like the east side? So like if you're looking at it like over here to the right where the train comes in Union Station?
Briefly,
There's bullet holes in Union Station.
Yeah.
From the time, so another gangster was coming through. They wanted to free their guy, right? So
Whose guy? Lasagna?
Lasagna. No. So
what's his last name?
So, anyway, so this is a place we have to go to, by the way. I wonder if it's still around. I think it's one of the places. Fred Harvey Restaurant.
Okay.
It's the place inside Union Station. I've always wanted to go eat there. Like you can sit on top, like look and see Union Station.
That'd be
It's where they would all meet. And there's a little balcony at Union Station, and that's where that was the gangster section. They go up there to the top. So like there's the middle section of the restaurant, and then you go right up here, and there's a part that's off limits.
Yeah.
That used to be the gangsta hangout. So what they would do is they said, okay, we're gonna get our boy out. I didn't put his name in here, but so Ricchetti decided I'm gonna meet these guys, the cops, and my boy, Vernon Miller. Okay, I'm gonna meet him. We're gonna meet him out there. We're gonna gun him down. We're gonna get the cops off our back. Plans went wrong. They shot everybody in the car, and the cops shot all of them. So there's a huge massacre outside Union Station by the gangster hangout, which is why the bullet holes were still there.
That's crazy.
Yep. So it went wrong. It was in June. They all got shot up, and then that's when J. Edgar Hoover of the FBI expanded the FBI, like you said, for these gangsters. He goes, they have too much control. We got to go bigger. And that was like the first big boom of the FBI.
Was that before the St. Valentine's Day massacre?
I don't know when that was. Do you know when that was? Either way, I'm just saying our town basically like expanded the FBI. And we were able to run one of the most successful mafias in history.
And we have Superman.
We do. He's from Kansas.
He's just from good old Kansas. Well, there is not a Smallville, Kansas. I believe there's a Smallville, Missouri.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
Smallville, Missouri?
I have passed through there on my way back home to Georgia. Them dogs is hell.
Aren't they all called Smallvilles?
The
They're all
town is
small
literally called Smallville. And they've got a phone booth, like the last phone booth in America.
The last phone booth?
Yeah, it's kind of a landmark, like the last Blockbuster. There's like this red phone booth. Again, last phone booth in America, okay? And they have it because if Superman comes down, he can change it there.
That's awesome.
Isn't that badass? Look it up.
Remember that scene in the IT crowd where he's like, I can't do anything. I don't have my pants. And he goes in the phone booth and changes his pants, and it just shows him changing his boxers. Yeah. And he just has his whitey-tighties outside the window, and he's like looking. He's like, oh no.
Dude,
like they wouldn't see Superman dressing in the... But, and then there's one more thing that happened. So this was later on. This was way after all this stuff. So there's no more government officials, no more police payouts, none of that kind of stuff. But they're still involved. So the Mafia, you were asking if they're still involved. This was in like the 60s-ish, 50s, 60s.
That was during the communist, for those of you who don't know. That was during the time of the socialist movement. Okay, a lot of socialists out there. A lot of people were joining unions. The unions with Jimmy Hoffa, under his control specifically, gained a lot of power. For those of you who don't know. Continue, Jace. Tell me a story.
So... they hated us because they're making big progress, the KC mob. So they decided, okay, all right, we're going to blow up one of your restaurants. So they exploded an entire building in Kansas City back in like the 60s and 50s.
Yo!
Yep. And then they said, now we're going to send you a message. And that was the message. And then the only way the FBI caught us, by the way, was in the 70s. We were caught at a casino trying to rig the 1970s, to make sure Kansas City won that Super Bowl. They caught us at the, let's see. Yeah, we were playing the Vikings against the Kansas City's in the 1970 Super Bowl. So he was caught betting on it and obviously laundering money through the Tropicana Casino in Las Vegas. So the Kansas City mob was crossing state lines, and it blew up. I didn't think that they would... I just thought it was like centralized. You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's little patches of like mafia, right? Like New York had the mafia, and that was New York mafia. And then you had like Kansas City. But they were like doing exchanges. They were like, all right, we're gonna go over to Las Vegas. We're gonna borrow some of your cash. We can funnel it through our business. We're gonna bet on the game. And then he got caught 5 years later betting illegal money, and that's how the FBI caught him. They always catch him on the technicalities. Do you know that?
Yeah.
It's never like, oh, we caught you like robbing someone or shooting someone. It's always like, we caught you on tax fraud, or we caught you on tax evasion. Boom. Something cheeky. You know what
that means for us? I've got two little side notes here, okay?
Go ahead.
Side note number one. That was the first time Kansas ever won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
The second time we ever won the Super Bowl was with Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Last year.
Yep.
So you're telling me that before that, the Chiefs would have never won a Super Bowl without the help of gangsters.
I don't know that. They didn't say that, but they did say that he was betting some high-stakes money enough to get the FBI's attention on the game.
Yeah, we all know what that's code for.
Yeah.
Side note number 2. Why is Kansas so powerful? Why are gangsters fighting over this land? What's so great about it? It's flat, there's cows everywhere.
Paris of the Plains, dog.
It's the middle of America. If you can get to Kansas, you can reach any place in the world, in America.
Yeah, you go north, south, east, west, wherever you want to go.
Right in the middle. You know what else Kansas has?
What?
Like proper highways. That's another big thing. That's why biker gangs tried to take over years back. Because of our location. That's why the Mafia was so big here. Because of our location, the highways being in the center, you can go anywhere.
You can control the whole country.
You can control the whole country from
Well,
Kansas.
if it proves they did for a while.
If I were a mobster, I'd keep it in Kansas, and I'd have little joints everywhere else, because
Well,
from
I
Kansas,
wouldn't-
you can go anywhere.
Well, then I wouldn't bomb you.
No.
But yeah, it was called the right here, the famous River Quay bombings. So, yeah. So just like you said, it says seeing the area's potential, Fred Harvey Bonadonna, known as Freddie, was quick to take it. He wanted to be in the middle.
Oh yeah.
So he decided, I'll just blow him off the face of the earth. Started blowing places up off the river.
That's bad. So we did a timeline. Now we're back to the 70s, right?
Yeah, that was 1977, where several bars were blown to pieces.
Okay. Wow.
Yep.
Well, let me tell you a little fun fact, okay?
All right.
Take with me a journey through time, okay? This is Morgan Freeman coming at you via time machine.
A time machine.
Or however you're listening and or watching this program. Now, the year is 1963.
Yeesh.
JFK was just killed, as a matter of fact.
That was 1960.
In November.
1963.
In the year of our Lord, 1963. But anyway, who was connected to that? People have been speculating for years. But if it really was Lee Harvey Oswald, he had connections with the mob and socialists, which I brought up earlier, for those of you who are still paying attention and doing your homework.
That's right.
The socialists and union workers were so big in the day, in the 70s in the 60s and 70s specifically, they were considered a mob. They were a mob, led by none other than, you guessed it, Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa. I've heard
Jimmy
of that.
Hoffa. Head of the Hopper. Yeah. Jimmy Hoffa, a.k.a. the Hopper Whopper. I just made that up.
That's pretty good. Jimmy
AKA
Hoffa, the Hoppa Wappa.
Yeah. The Whopper Hopper. Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa ran it, right? He had connections to Lee Harvey Oswald and the guy who killed Lee Harvey Oswald, Jack Ruby.
Yep.
Okay, so here's how it goes, okay? 1960. Okay, we'll go back there. Kennedy and his brother, also last name Kennedy. I can't remember his brother. Robert? Was it Robert Kennedy?
John
Okay.
JFK's brother?
Okay. You have John and you have his brother Bob. Okay. They're both waging war on gangsters. They're saying, we're going to stop this union racketeering. We're going to quit it all. They got too much power. They even had a slogan. His brother came out with it. It had a slogan and T-shirts and pins and hats saying, get Jimmy Hoffa.
He was?
Stop Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah, dude.
His brother? Yeah,
His
Robert
brother
F.
wanted to wage a war on the mob for their racketeering. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens? Who's JFK close to? I'll give you a hint. Kennedy's sex tunnels.
I don't,
Who was he porking?
oh.
She's got 11 toes.
No, she does not.
She does too. Look it up. Look it up. Marilyn Monroe, the hottest lady with 11 toes out there. All right, Marilyn Monroe, with all her
Was born. No, was
she's
born with
got 11.
She was born with 6 toes on 1 foot.
Told you, the hottest lady to have 11 toes. Now, if I may. So Jimmy Hoffa gets wind of this, right?
What?
Starts making plans, right, to get the Kennedys. Who's JFK close with? 11-toed, blonde bombshell, Marilyn Monroe. Okay,
She had a cut
has
off
her
when she was young.
suicided.
She had a cut off when she was young, but you can still see the little stumpy.
It's in some of her movies. Yeah,
You can see the little stumpy. That's
she's
weird.
got 11 toes. So besides her having 11 toes, she was killed by Jimmy Hoffa. Okay, Jimmy Hoffa put the hit out on her. Now we all know it was one of these. Oh, she overdosed and died, or did she? Because back when I was tow trucking, did a tow truck job for a lady by the name of Marilyn Monroe. Same age, same birthday, same mole, everything. Okay. I have proof of it. I can show you after this. She was working in the
Bleep bloop.
library. Okay. Looked just like her. Same name, everything. What if she never
Holy
died?
cow.
What if she never died? What if she became a librarian? And
Bleep bloop.
went in the witness protection program because she knew something was up with Jimmy Hoffa. She warned her husband, Joe DiMaggio, who said, "No, you're just being a woman." No famous baseball player Joe DiMaggio?
Whoa. She was married to him?
She was married to Joe Horseface DiMaggio. Okay. I made that up. But
I'm looking it up.
She was married to Joe DiMaggio.
Oh,
But
my.
she was doing the no dance pants with JFK. And
That is...
some say his brother. So he sends a message. He goes out to gank Marilyn Monroe.
That
Okay?
dude's
Unless
got
the
a
CIA
messed up
picked her up.
face.
Yeah.
You said horse face. It looks just like it.
We got old
I'm like-
Horseface DiMaggio, who's married to to the
that's a-
11-toed lady. Okay, she's boning the Irish president and his brother. All right, Jimmy Hoffa goes to war with the Irish president and his brother. Okay,
Okay.
Joe DiMaggio thinks, or Jimmy Hoffa thinks, I'm gonna kill the 11-toed lady. Kills the 11-toed lady, or she goes into his protection program. The choice is yours here, really. Take the floor with it. Now, what if, not even a year later, okay, through socialist work, which he was a union member, what if through socialist work, contacted Lee Harvey Oswald, who was a known socialist, communist, and union member? Who runs the unions at the time in this day and age? Jimmy Hoffa. Okay, here's where it gets tricky. Okay. Who was he trying? Okay, so Lee Harvey Oswald kills JFK, allegedly. All right,
Okay.
you following? Allegedly kills him. Known ties to Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa was waged war against the brothers. They both did. Okay.
They have a new movie coming out about her.
No shit.
Look, doesn't she look just like her?
Yeah, how many toes she got?
She's like, I wanted to get
toes.
She goes, I wanted to get exactly accurate.
Always
Oh.
check the toes, buddy.
Adrian Brody's going to be in it.
Who's he gonna play? He's gonna play Adrian Brody.
Arthur Miller. Whoa. Playwright. Famous playwright. I think he wrote, yeah. Did he write Death of a Salesman? I got you. Arthur Miller plays. He was very well known. Good. Yep, Death of a Salesman, The
Okay.
Crucible, All My Sons. He was a really famous playwright.
That's cool.
That is very cool. Wow. He looks just like him too.
I was gonna do a big wrap up.
You good?
I was waiting for a big reveal.
You good? Sorry,
Okay.
I cut right through. I cut
Dude,
right through.
you're good. You're good, bro. You're good. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. The Irish president and his brother, the Kennedys, wage war against Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa's got boys, too. He's got Lee Harvey Oswald, and he's got Jack Ruby. Okay. They go after the 11-toed lady. 11-toed lady Marilyn Monroe is boning the Kennedys. So he kills her. No longer a problem. About 8 months later, all right, starts planning deals, okay? Planning deals. Now, the month before, Kennedy was killed. Bar owner by the name of Jack Ruby decides he wants to join the reunion. Okay. He's introduced via Irvin Weinstein. Okay. Because his brother went to college with him. They were roommates. Introduced him to him, who had connections to Jimmy Hoffa. Okay. So when they wiretapped his phones, this is the 60s. Everybody's phones are wiretapped. Hate to break it to you, they were. So
It's a wire connect. Yeah, it was
They're-
super easy to monitor your phone
spying
calls.
on everybody for commies and Russians, okay? You never know when the redcoats is coming. Now, so they were trying to recruit Jack Ruby. He was trying to get in the Mafia. They captured Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald said it wasn't me. I was a patsy. I was set up. Jack Ruby, again, trying to join Jimmy Hoffa's union, goes out and kills Lee Harvey Oswald while he's in jail.
Yep.
Did that before he could talk. Claimed he did his patriotic duty. He was just so disgusted by the idea, he couldn't stand it. But what if that was his initiation? Because Lee Harvey Oswald was going to talk.
Yeah, especially if you were just a hired like gun, just someone to stand the show.
Exactly. Dead guys can't say shit.
You were gonna talk.
So his failing nightclub, which was known to house mobsters and union members, which he was trying to desperately join for the benefits.
Yep.
Through Jimmy Hoffa. Killed him before anybody could find out.
It doesn't baffle me.
Doesn't baffle me either. That's where it gets weird. Even weirder. I'm going to hit you with another one, okay? I'm going to come at you crispy. Okay? Third, this gets, or fourth now, fifth? Let's go back in a time machine. Okay? The year is, no, wait. The year was 1975. Okay? Jimmy Hoffa says, I will resign presidency. Only to Richard Milhous Nixon, the greatest president who ever lived.
Who said this?
Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa says, I will no longer be the president of this union mob. Only if the greatest president ever, Richard Nixon, asked me to. 1975.
74.
74, my bad. 1974. Okay. He says, okay, Nixon, only because you asked me, and we're best buds. I'll quit being the leader of the mob. Next, not even a year later, after he resigns,
Yeah.
he just disappears.
Jimmy Hoffa disappears.
Jimmy Hoffa disappeared in 1975. There is no trace of him. Called his wife. He was supposed to be at a meeting with two Italian mobsters. They never showed up. He gets in a maroon Buick. Calls his wife, complains about them not showing up, starts bitching. There's 3 other guys in the back of the maroon car. And they disappear right off into the sunset.
Hoffa disappeared on July 30th, 1975. In 74, he asked for the favor. He is believed, but never proven to be murdered by the Mafia. And was declared after
the 80s.
Yeah, in 1982 to be dead. His legacy is still up for debate.
If the mob would have killed him, they would have done it to send a message, right?
Yeah.
Why would they go after him if he was no longer running the group?
A mystery that still hasn't been solved.
It has never been solved. I think him and Nixon were buddies. He was telling him what happened. Or Nixon was figuring out what happened with JFK. The real story, Because who wasn't going to quit looking into JFK's murder?
No one.
We're
still doing it now.
It's a fucking tragedy. It's a fucking tragedy. It's a heckin' gosh darn tragedy, consarn it, okay? So for all you son of a Muppets out there, Nixon is catching on to Jimmy Hoffa. That's why he resigns. Says,
Yep.
all right, I ain't going to tell you all the pieces of the puzzle, but I can give you a little bit. I'll give you Ruby. I'll give you Oswald. You give me a year.
He said give him a year.
Yeah. Picks his predecessor. Disappears. Now, if this made headlines, which it would have back in the day, him resigning, other mobsters wouldn't be after him. They'd be after the new guy. So why would he have been killed? Where's the body? How would they have done it? He didn't. he disappeared.
And you know what's funny? It said everyone react. So I found this article, and they said what? It said, how did Jimmy Hoffa really react when President Kennedy was assassinated? He was eating a sundae. Everyone got up to look at the TV. He turned, saw it, goes, kept eating his sundae. Cold and cold.
Dude, union laborers under him came out like last year.
He was like,
Or 2 years ago? No, 2017. One of his union members came out, one of his Teamsters said, oh, yeah, he was behind JFK getting killed. But it wasn't through Jack Ruby. It was through a guy in a manhole in the street. Others say, yeah, he definitely did it through Jack Ruby. But not only did the guy have the president whacked,
oh, dude,
and the 11-toed lady.
They hated each other. Says James Neff, author of Vendetta, Bobby Kennedy versus Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah,
Right.
Bobby is the one that stirred the pot for JFK. JFK
Was an innocent bystander. He had bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, and then
Bobby Kennedy's all like,
Well, my brother's a president. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to go after the mafia.
yep, and he said, and then so he told NPR. He said they really, really hated each other. He said Jimmy Hoffa went out of his way to do so. Right, a master manipulator, negotiator. He would use whatever tool he could get. Oh boy,
who was sitting next to JFK when he died?
his wife.
His wife sitting right next to him? Where's his brother? Look up the picture of the car. Of the limousine. It's a Lincoln limousine, I do believe.
Whoa. He was there?
His brother was in the car. Some say his brother, Bobby Kennedy, you know, kind of like the Jeb Bush of the family.
Yep.
Some say that, you know, your dad was president, your brother was president, but what are you? You're nothing. You're Jeb Bush. What do they say happened to him? They say he was the original target. JFK sat in the wrong seat that day.
Yeah, it says Robert F. Kennedy believed JFK was killed because of him, even his own brother.
His own brother believed this. But where did they sit? Jackie O, I believe, is sitting up front, yeah? Is Jackie O sitting up?
I'm trying to find pictures, but yeah, I can't. So you see JFK on the right.
Okay.
She's on the left.
She's on the left. Okay.
And you have another open top car behind them.
That's for the Secret Service.
Yeah.
And we're going to insert links here. That's the lineup, okay?
Yeah.
So if he was here, right? He was here, right? Wasn't he? Or was he in front? Wherever Oswald was. If he was in front, like they say,
Yeah.
that's why he missed.
Him in the front of him right there?
If he was in front of him, that's why he missed. Or going from the back at him, like at an angle or something. That's why he fucking missed.
Holy shit.
Because of where his brother was sitting. Women didn't drive back in the day. Even in the 60s and 70s, women did not drive. They could drive a little bit, but why would Jackie O's not even driving? It's Bobby's wife. Not the 11-year-old lady that he's porking in the Kennedy sex tunnels, but she's driving.
You got to tell me if you found out that your husband for many, many years, and then you're like, really, you're banging? It'd be like, you're banging a porn star?
She wasn't a porn star.
You know what I mean? But like
she
now,
was the role model of every porn star, and she is on a lot of flash tattoos across bars nationwide.
Well, you know what I mean. It'd be like, okay, I'm a humble little frail lady. I've been by your side this whole time, and then you go and bang this bleep bloop.
But she's driving.
Some people even say that she was hired by the CIA to help an associate kill him.
No kidding.
Yep. Like she was like
Talking
she was
Jackie O or Bobby's wife?
Jackie O. Like she was actually
fucking O.
like, yeah, there was a rumor going around a long, long time ago that she was hired by the CIA to kill him.
I don't think the CIA ganked him.
Well, you know what I mean? Like she's like, hey, make sure this is going to go down. Make sure this
Is that why they're sitting on the side away from the gunman?
I don't know. Probably.
Why would his brother be in the front?
It doesn't.
Why wasn't his brother driving? Because it was uncommon for women to drive back then. Driving the car shows a position of leadership. What if they switched seats? And that's why JFK died. Because Lee Harvey Oswald missed getting Bobby.
Oh no, that'd be so horrible.
What if
You're like, that
the
bullet was for me,
theory
dude.
about the manhole cover assassin was right?
What are you talking about?
And then Kennedy, Bobby, ducks down or drops his phone or whatever equivalent you have of 1960s.
Just
Oh,
duck.
shit. Ducks to get it. My Tic Tacs. And then
Boom!
Yahtzee, Jackie O's covered in
I'd be like,
Kennedy.
and you just look up, you're like, what was
He's
that?
over there like, where's my smokes? I can't find him anywhere.
You're like, people know not to shoot guns at this thing, right? What was that big bang?
Did
You
we
turn
hit a
around,
child again? Did we hit a kid?
you turn back, you're like, my brother didn't have a head.
Another theory that supports this.
You got a
Is-
lighter, sir?
Where's that lighter?
I dropped my
Where's it-
smokes.
Where's the information on Roswell and the UFO diet? Where's my time travel machine? Oh, there. It's around there somewhere. Bang! Damn it, he moved. That's why they call him Never Sit Still Bobby Kennedy.
Do they?
They call them the Ritalin twins. I'm kidding. I made that up. Space DiMaggio.
Excuse me. Boom.
Look at that view. Son of a bitch. Who did that? Lee Harvey Oswald. That's who did it.
You're like, you were supposed to shoot his brother. He's like, he ducked.
Known Union and Socialist member. Definitely working under Hoffa. It's been proven. Wasn't him.
It reminds me of Peaky Blinders when they, remember he goes to the prison and he finds that guy who was in World War I with him who was like the best sniper. He never missed. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of a little shaky. He didn't know how to shoot again.
Yeah.
And then they're like, here, have a little bump of some coke. And then he's just like still shaking even more. But he hits the target center mass every time. It's just like that. He's getting ready for it. He's maybe a little nervous. He's, whew, gosh. He's like, I wonder when the timing's right. I'll wait till he gets a little closer. And next thing you know, Bobby just goes like this. He goes, oh no. Just turns and the bullet goes.
Right.
You're like.
Bleep bloop.
You're like, uh-oh. You're like, I made a boo-boo. Ball ya.
You know who else could have done it easily?
Anybody?
I don't know. Maybe the Umbrella Man.
Who's the umbrella man?
There's a guy dressed in all black with a black umbrella on a clear, beautiful, sunshiny day. With a black umbrella covering his head,
Oh,
open and
yeah.
everything.
Right here. He's just standing there with a black umbrella.
Yeah,
You saying he's like the signal man?
I think he could be
Like, put the umbrella down, the next thing you know, you're good to fire?
something like that. Dude, it's sunny out there. Nobody's wearing a jacket. Not even Jackie O, fashion queen of the day.
She's wearing that pink getup.
Oh yeah.
She's hot to trot.
Hi.
But you didn't think I was when you run around with your little swat.
You didn't think this was so hot when you was porking old nine toes. Okay,
11
listen here.
I was did you watch Workaholics?
Yeah, yeah.
You know the long-haired guy? Right?
Yeah.
There's a
What,
I was
Blake?
I was Blake. I was watching it yesterday. It's called Game Over Man on Netflix. Okay? They write this movie like terrorists take over this hotel and they're just like room service people. It's basically Workaholics in a movie, right? And he always has his hair up in this bun. He's always tight knit, trying to like talk about like, oh, women, they're so hot or whatever. And at the end of the episode, he like comes out and he goes, okay, that's it. We're about to die. Guys, I'm gay. Right? Like comes out completely. They go, we fucking know. He's like, what? They go, yeah, you tell us every time you get piss ass drunk. And then there's a scene where he has to take out this like this hostile,
Dead.
this like chick's like about to come and like kill him with their gun, and he goes, "You need to apologize."
Okay.
Just like you did. And she's like, "What?" And he just goes, "You about to have this gay attack all over you," and just starts smacking the shit out of her. And I'm like, you described Jackie O as basically like, as soon as you started talking, I
Well,
saw,
she was a fashion icon, you know, so she's definitely clapping her hands to make a point.
well,
Okay.
in my mind, Jackie O just went like this. She went whoop, and my brain replaced her with Blake. With the hair going, "Hey, excuse me, you must apologize."
Jackie O's sitting there, you know, diagonal from Bobby, going. Man, what a beautiful day. Holding up a mirror to blind. What was that?
Yes.
You know?
Kill sign. It's a kill sign.
Yeah, universal kill sign. You know? She's over there holding the side. Help me! Kill Bobby Kennedy right here, out in the open. If there's a lone gunman up there working for Jimmy Hoffa, you better gank Bobby Kennedy. Leave my John alone.
He's like, "What'd you say, Jackie? Did you say something?" Just turns.
Jackie, did you say something?
Just turns.
Oh, God!
She's like, "It's the wrong one." Oh man. Well, you know what's funny?
Damn him and his pug eyes.
This is a good way to end it too. The you know what else they did under?
Something else for you after that.
More than that?
A little bit.
How much more conspiracy could you get? Oh, JFK. There's a lot probably.
Every relative ever of his has died.
What do you mean?
Look up
every member.
Look up the Kennedy curse.
It didn't start with Kennedy.
The Kennedy curse. Curse book. Series of premature deaths, accidents, and other calamities involving members of the American Kennedy family.
Look up how many there are. There's only 2 Kennedys left.
Says the alleged curse has primarily struck the children and descendants of businessman and President JFK.
It happened to his
Oh, wait, no.
grandfather, too.
No, struck the children and descendants of businessman Joseph P. Kennedy Sr., his dad.
His dad. His grandfather was also a politician, I think in England or Ireland. Yeah.
What?
And rumor has it that he was responsible for killing a lot of natives when they came to America. Under his reign, they killed a lot of Native American, a lot of Indians. So they claim that there's a Native American curse on the Kennedy family. And that is why they all get dead.
Oh my goodness sakes. This one was this year.
This year.
April 2nd. Maeve Kennedy McKeon, Gideon McKeon, her 8-year-old son, went missing during a canoe trip in the Chesapeake Bay. Maeve's body was found on April 6th. Gideon's body was found on April 8th. That was this year, bro.
They're still killing them. Now, the Irish multiply like rabbits. You know, so what the hell?
It's the funny thing is it says chronologically the events that point to this theory, and it's just 30 bullet points of people that have died. Bing bong, bing bong, bing, bing bong, bing bing.
Right? But what if Jimmy Hoffa, when he disappeared, hated the Kennedys so much
that he just
he's
put a
out
hit
there,
on every single one of them?
he is still actively finding ways to kill them. Even though he's no longer a mobster. He just went full Bruce Willis.
Holy cow.
And nobody knows who he is anymore. He's no longer relevant. What, you
Bing
think
bong,
you think
bing
Kennedy
bong.
told his cousins about Hoffa and what he looked like and everything? No. He's old as shit now. Nobody cares anymore. But if I was Hoffa and I had a grudge, I had a score to settle with all Kennedys, I'd go into hiding, disappear off the face of the earth, resign, and make my number one duty ganking Kennedys.
I didn't know Schwarzenegger had a illegitimate child.
Yes.
He was a longtime member of their household staff.
Could you imagine having a son and treating him like a butler?
I guess that's why they split up. I'm trying to find it. I went to personal life.
Didn't Jackie O die in a weird way too?
I don't know. I'm off that page. Okay. They have 4 children. Catherine, Christina, Patrick, and Christopher.
Okay.
The youngest one is a year younger than me. Patrick is your age.
Yeah.
I've seen that dude.
Okay, Jackie O had cancer. She died of cancer. But she wasn't a blood relative of Kennedy.
Was
They had a
that?
stillborn daughter, Arabella. President Bill Clinton actually gave the eulogy at their grave.
What'd you say?
Bill Clinton gave the eulogy at their grave. 1994, and then 5 years later, her son, John, runs against Bill Clinton and disappears.
John.
John. Disappears. Okay.
Oh yeah, Catherine's she's the one who's married to oh my goodness. Chris Pratt. Booyah. They're married.
If I could have anybody as a guest on this show, one of the people I would have is definitely the half Arnold, half Kennedy kid. I feel like he would be so damn cool.
Okay. Apparently, I got off on a tangent.
Jimmy Hoffa's never getting him.
Patrick Schwarzenegger was in
You will never get my
Benchwarmers
son.
as a kid. No, that's not even it. You stupid internet. Okay, maybe he was.
Besides him and John obviously still being alive according to conspiracy. They asked one of the old cousins, who was like married in somehow, if John was still alive, touch your nose in a video. And during the interview, he goes like that and smiles.
He's like, of course.
Hold it up aside.
He's probably
John
just doing
lives.
it for all the nuts out there. He's like,
John is still alive. The Clintons never got him.
he just
Or
starts
Jimmy
like,
Hoffa. Or whatever rabbit hole you want to pick. Our job isn't to tell you what to think. Our job is just to give you the options.
yeah, I can't find it. Darn you, Wikipedia.
DuckDuckGo.
You've lied again.
Use DuckDuckGo.
But you know what else happened in the 60s? We went to the moon. We're going to the moon.
Allegedly went to the moon.
Allegedly. But yeah, I just want to bring
I'm
this up
very
too.
agnostic on the moon landing.
You are?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we
We can cover that next time.
We probably got eventually, yeah.
I think we've been now, but no, I don't think we went when we said we went.
Holy shit,
Because you got Apollo 13. Man, you're going to get me on a tangent about the moon landing. All right. Is that the wrap up? Did you want to?
Well, I was going to finish.
Okay, finish.
Gotta
Give us
load
the
the
wrap-up.
stupid thing.
Give us a closer.
That was
Here's
my closer.
the deal.
U.S. and 7 other countries signed NASA's Artemis Project to explore the moon and put a base on it. You know who didn't sign it? Russia.
Yeah, they're more into Venus right now. Venus is actually a Russian planet now.
Or they just go like this. It's ours now.
Yeah,
They go like that. It's ours.
yeah.
It's mine now.
America said, NASA said, hey, there's life on Venus. Ain't that cool? Vladimir Putin literally says,
He's mine.
Venus is a Russian planet. Always has been, always will be. How do you just buy a planet?
What we're trying to accomplish is establish norms of.
Who do you give the money to? The ancestors of Venus? I mean, come on.
Oh, from
How do you just claim a planet like that?
Honestly, we think it's a joke, but it's probably he's like, that's how we do it in Russia. We just claim it. You go, that's ours. We call this piece and that piece of land.
Venus has always been Russian. Everybody knows that.
Australia, Canada, Japan, Italy, UK, United Arab. I say that word wrong. Emirates? Emirates?
Amerirats. I don't know. That's how Brad Pitt would have said it. Reberderchi.
But it's legit like Space Force.
I think it's
Emirates?
Bunch of damn dirty Emirates.
And now they're upset because the Artemis program says it's too U.S. central. Like, are you kidding me?
We call dibs. Everybody knows that Russia has always been the motherland to Venus. Everybody knows Russians are from Venus. The planet is ours. It is common knowledge.
That'd be nuts.
Russia has always owned Venus.
Before we even retire, they'll have a base on the moon. Extract resources from the moon. It's just rocks.
It is not just rocks. What's so great about our moon anyway? Doesn't Saturn have like 2 of them?
I think Jupiter has 9.
Yeah. So then what do we even need our moon for? It's been done, man. It's kind of cliche at this point. Oh, wow, you're going to go to the moon? Oh, wow.
It's
now
just
for my next trick.
I think it's just
I'm going back to the moon.
Yeah, I think it's just big because they're going to put something on it.
Man, they're always trying to do shit on the moon.
Well, it's the first time that other countries have agreed to put it on the moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 moons. I'm a liar. It's all Jupiter. That's it. That's all I had. I just want to let you know that I think.
Next week, you want to talk about the moon landing?
Sure, but but this week was kind of cool because I didn't know that our town was full of badasses.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Like legit, I didn't know you can go to there's a place that we need to go to for like dinner, like all of us. So it says it's still there, but this could be an old article. It's the Last Chance Saloon, located near State Line and Southwest Boulevard, near where the Quick Trip stands. Last Chance Saloon was run by a mobster named, it just says back by the name of Golding in the 1950s before they were zoning laws. Half the club was on the Missouri side, other half was on the Kansas side. Legend states that when cops would show up to the saloon, all of the staff and patrons would walk to the other side, therefore crossing state lines, avoiding prosecution. It was directly between both states.
Yeah,
They're like,
this is beautiful.
cops!
I got a friend with a house like that.
They just walk to the other side of the bar. They're like, can't get us over here.
It's like a certain part of his yard is no longer in county. so if you're getting chased by the cops, you just pull into to the left side of his yard and you're good.
You're like, I'm on other.
The driveway though is county.
But
The rest of it's
Bleep bloop.
It's still open. I looked it up on Google Maps and it's
damn it,
won't pull it up.
son of a
We'll
biscuit!
find it. We'll use DuckDuckGo.
Stupid thing. They must have tore it down. They must have blew it up like the rest of them. Must have blown it up.
Jimmy Hoffa over there, ganking restaurants.
And Kennedy's.
Man.
Oh.
All right. Well, you heard it here first on Gently Buzzed, your favorite and number 1 spot for alternative news.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
All right, bye guys. We'll catch you next time.
Laters.